progress for Team Trippy's Sprint 3. Some major accomplishments for each team members. For me, creating dynamic functionality between the FAQ page and table with the adding, removing, and displaying of data, and making sure that adding an FAQ item is for admins only. Gustav worked on saving flights to a user so that they can view this information and email themselves a copy of that info. Tommy worked on the user being able to search for flights and see all relevant information for this flight. Andrew worked on filtering trip search items based on interest so that they can find their relevant information. Morningstar worked on being able to search through the FAQ items and removing an FAQ item only functional for an admin. Papa worked on getting relevant hotel information for the user's trips with real-time data. Russell worked on the password reset functionality for a user if they need to reset their password. Mohammed worked on specifying the number of travelers for a trip so they can have an accurate price. Vincent continued his work on the forums page so that users can share their information. For Team Trippy's Sprint 3. Some major accomplishments for each team members. For me, creating dynamic functionality between the FAQ page and table with the adding, removing, and displaying of data, and making sure that adding an FAQ item is for admins only. Gustav worked on saving flights to a user so that they can view this information and email themselves a copy of that info. Tommy worked on the user being able to search for flights and see all relevant information for this flight. Andrew worked on filtering trip search items based on interest so that they can find their relevant information. Morningstar worked on being able to search through the FAQ items and removing an FAQ item only functional for an admin. Papa worked on getting relevant hotel information for the user's trips with real-time data. Russell worked on the password reset functionality for a user if they need to reset their password. Mohammed worked on specifying the number of travelers for a trip so they can have an accurate price. Vincent continued his work on the forums page so that users can share their information. This is Natalie, this is my Sprint 3 progress. For my first user story, as an admin, I want to be the only user that can access the Add FAQ items field so that information is correct. So for the first acceptance criteria, when logged in as an admin, the Add FAQ question field is present. So we'll go ahead and log in. And we'll go back. And so now we have those fields available to add since I'm in as an admin. So that question field is present. When logged in as an admin, the Add FAQ answer field is present here. And so those are both only there because I'm currently logged in as an admin. We'll go ahead and log out. When not logged in as an admin, the Add FAQ field, question field is not present. And you can see that that's not there anymore. When not logged in as an admin, the Add FAQ answer field is not present. That field is no longer present. As an admin, I want to be able to add a question and an answer with two fields so that the information is displayed in a readable manner. So we have our field here. There is a field for the FAQ question, correct? There is a field for the FAQ answer. We also have that there. The button stores both these fields in the database. So right now we have these two fields here in the database. And if I add that, you can see that that's updated there. So those are stored. As an admin, I want to be able to display the added FAQ items on the page so that I can see the correct information displayed. New FAQ items are pulled from the database. Okay. So you can see we have our items here in the database, and those are all reflected here on the page. New FAQ items are showed in a dynamic list on the FAQ page, which we were able to see whenever we updated this item here. That was not here, and it was refreshed and updated to have that there. We can go ahead and do that again. So we'll go ahead, add. That has been updated here. And then that has also been updated here. The FAQ items are formatted in the middle of the page. And that is correct. They are formatted here so it's easily readable for the user. The question is displayed a line above the answer and vice versa. So you have your question and your answer. And that is the way it is for each of the items. The FAQ items are on one card per item, so each FAQ should be separated this way, and they are. As an admin, I want to be able to delete FAQ items so that if they are needing to be removed, they are removed from the list. And now that we go here as an admin, you have a delete button. Clicking the button removes the FAQ item from the page. So let's just go to the taxi ride one here and click delete. It's going to ask us if we would like to delete that. Okay. That is gone from the FAQ page. Clicking the button removes the FAQ item from the database. So here I haven't refreshed it, but we still have that taxi ride one, and that is now gone.
Hello, I am Utsav Ravi Walters, and these are the child user stories that I worked on during Sprint 3. As a registered user, I want to view all my saved flights when I navigate to the profile pages so that I can view my saved flight information. So first, I'm going to go ahead and create a registered user. The registered user being myself with my first name, last name, my UCL email, password. I have successfully created this user. Now I will log in with that user, being myself. Once I have logged in, if I navigate to my account and under profile pages, there is a tab called favorite flights, and a user can click on this to view their current favorite flights. And as you can see, since this is a recently created user, there are no favorite flights at the moment. And so my first acceptance criteria being a tab within the profile that the user can click to view the saved flights. And as I showed you, this is the tab that exists. Now if I go back to the home page and query a list of flights between Oklahoma and Denver, for example, let's say our departure time, departure airport Oklahoma Will Rogers, Denver International, our departure date being the 28th, return date being the 11th, number of adults being 2, number of children being 0, citizens being 0, class economy, and then I'll do find flight information. Here we can see a list of flight quotes that a user might get, and they can save these in their account with the save button. So here I'll just save it. Save this $260 one, the carrier being Alaska Airlines, this $368 one, the being United, and then this $278 one between United between these two places as well. So I will go ahead and then navigate back to the profile page, and under favorite flights, there'll be a list of the flights that the user saved with the same information, $228 from carrier Alaska Airlines, minimum price being $368 with carrier United, and another $278 for being United. And this fulfills my second acceptance criteria, which is the list of saved flights that the user is saved is being displayed. And as the user navigates properly, these saved flights are displayed to the user. The list includes flight information that the user initially selected, and this is the same information that the user selected when they made the search and when this information was generated to the user. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the same information that the user selected on when they made the search. And my last acceptance criteria being the access is restricted to only registered users. So when the user logs out, this profile page is no longer available to the user. Hence, they will not be able to, any unregistered user will not have access to their profile page or to their saved flights. And therefore, the access is only restricted to only registered users. My second child user story was, as a registered user, I want to see a button on my saved flights so that I can get an email summary on flight information. A button located on the right hand side of each flight. So first, I'm going to log back in as a user. If I go back to the profile page under favorite flights, a button is located on the right hand side of each of the saved flights that the user saved. An email is sent to the user regarding the flight information. So if I, for example, for this $280 minimum price flight, if I want this email to be sent, it will send an email generated to my uwalters.uco.edu. So I'll just go and click this. And as you can see, this email was generated 3:25 a.m., which is the current time, and the price was $280. Oklahoma City Will Rogers, Denver International, Alaska Airlines, and then it also sends you the save date of the flight summary. The sender of the email is Trippy, and if you look at the email account, it's apptrippy01, which indicates that the email is being sent from the Trippy email account. And the subject of the email is the flight summary information. And this flight summary information is the same flight information that is summarized from the saved flights.
Hi, this is Tommy Walker, and I'll be going over my child user stories. As a user, I want to be able to click on a link to take me to other travel websites so I can see the flight information for a selected trip. Acceptance criteria. Flight search displays a drop-down to select the number of adult passengers. So we'll go ahead and start filling out the form. So the adult passengers drop-down is right here. So we'll select 2 adults. Flight search displays a drop-down to the selected number of children passengers. That children passengers is right next to the adult passengers. It's right here. We'll go ahead and say 2 children. Flight search displays a drop-down to select the number of senior citizen passengers. That is right here. We'll say 0 senior citizen passengers. Flight search displays a drop-down to select which cabin class the user would like to fly in. That will say economy class. When the Get Flight Data button is pressed, the links will be generated, then displayed. So that button is here. We'll press it, and these links are generated and displayed. At least 2 links are generated and displayed on the home page. Here there are 3 links shown. Links are displayed before the flight results section. So this is the link section, and then these here are the flight results. So links are always going to be displayed before the flight results. Information given on TripUSite is accurately projected to external site when the link is clicked. To display that, I'll go ahead and click on one of the links. So here we have displayed that we want two children and 2 adults in economy class and going from OKC to Los Angeles. So we'll go to Expedia.com, open that up. Okay, looks like they're having a few issues. We'll go to Travelocity.com. So here, Oklahoma City to Los Angeles, those same dates, the 26th and the 30th, 2 adults, 2 children. We'll specify the age of the kids, so we'll say 6 and 7, and no preference, and that will allow us to get a search. So that information was accurately projected onto that site to where you don't have to specifically put those in. It's almost a direct link. Thank you.
Hello, this is Andrew King, and these are my user stories for Sprint 3. So as a user, I want to select interest options to get related points of interest. So the first acceptance criteria is user sees search by interest option on the home page. So if I go over to the home page on our running project, if we scroll down, we see search for your flight, and then right below is search by interest. So then acceptance criteria 2, user can click on drop-down menu for interest option. So this drop-down menu contains a number of predetermined activities that are commonly looked for on vacations, such as national parks, beaches, skiing, zoos, museums, theme parks, water parks, camping, and nightlife. User's interest selection is displayed in the drop-down menu when selected. So if we did zoos, for example, zoos is displayed, water parks, or nightlife. List of points of interest are generated when search interest button is clicked. So if I do Orlando and we do theme parks, we search by interest. So this activities you'll love list is generated. So each card is the name of the related point of interest, what state it's in, county, and the address. So you can see Orlando Resort, Orlando Studio, Crayola Experience, Universal's Islands of Adventure, Aquatica, SeaWorld. So if we went up here and we changed it to museums, search by interest, you can see now that all the results are Orlando-based museums. So African American History and Culture, Folk Art, Museum of Art, Fine Arts Museum. So the last acceptance criteria is listed points of interest are related to selected interest. So as you can see, these are all museums in the Orlando area. So if I changed it one more time to nightlife, then we'll see we get some nightlife destinations such as bars and clubs in the Orlando area, Taboo, Social, Limelight, Red Coconut. So whichever interest is selected, the points of interest are related to the user's selected interest.
This is Morningstar Cornell with my user stories for Trippy Travel Sprint 3. As an admin, I want to be the only user that can access the Remove FAQ Items button. When not logged in, the Delete FAQ button is not visible. Here we are not logged in. We will visit the FAQ page, scroll down, no delete button. When logged in as a regular user, the Delete FAQ button is not visible. We'll log in, regular user, Visit the fact page, scroll down, no delete button. When logged in as an admin, the delete fact button is visible. So we'll log out, log in as an admin. Visit the fact page. We now see the delete fact button. As a user, I want to be able to search the fact information so that I can find what I need. And this works the same for all users, admin, regular, or not logged in users. When the user searches, search results displayed should be relevant to the search keyword. So we have 3 fact items. Where did my good press go? How do I update my email? And how do I save a trip? So if we search for trip, it only brings up the one that says trip. Search for email, it only brings up the one that says email. When the user clicks the reset icon on the search bar, all search keyword and filters should be cleared. So we got a filtered list here, the word email. If we click the clear button, that all goes away. It goes back to all 3 items. As an admin, I want to be the only user that can access the help items on the fact page. When logged in as an admin, the need help form is not visible. So we'll log in as a regular user to see what the form looks like. Visit the fact page. So when logged in as a regular user, the need help form is displayed. Here's the need help form. Log out. Visit the fact page, not logged in. When not logged in, the need help form is displayed. Need help form. When logged in as an admin, the need help form is not visible. So we'll log in as an admin. Visit the fact page, and we have, instead of the form, a list of questions that people have asked. So when logged in as an admin, the help items are displayed, and when logged in as admin, the need help form is not visible. As an admin, I want to see a list of help items when I navigate to the fact page. So here we are a admin user, we are on the fact page, and we have a list of help items. Help items are pulled from the database. So we can see here what we have on the screen matches the items in our database. Help items are shown in a dynamic list on the fact page. So if we added more, they would show up here. The help items are displayed 1 row per question. The help items display the user's name, email, question, and if the item is completed or not. As an admin, I want to mark the question as completed when I answer the user. Acceptance criteria. The Mark Completed button is visible when logged in as an admin. That is true. We have a button here, Mark Complete. The other 2 acceptance criteria are not finished and will be pushed off to the following sprint. And those are my user stories for the sprint 3. Also, the form doesn't work yet. That's also been pushed off to the next sprint. So these help items have been hard-coded into the database for now. Next sprint, they will be dynamic.
Hello, this is Russell Hayworth, and these are my user stories for Sprint 3. As a registered user, I want to enter in my email into the password reset form on the password reset page and press submit so that I can receive a password reset email. A modal pops up indicating that a password reset email was sent once the submit button is clicked. So we'll enter in a valid email that is registered on the website. Press submit. And we receive this modal that says if the email exists within our database, then you will receive a password reset email shortly. So also clicking the submit button generates a token, and then the generated token is stored in the database. So if we go take a look in the database, we query for it, we find that the token was created and inserted into the password reset token table. Also, the token is associated with account that had the email entered by the user. So this is the account ID right here from the accounts table. So if we go look at the accounts table here, ID 8 matches the email that we put in. So it was successfully associated with the correct account. The link is embedded with token and sent to the desired email. Reset email is received in the email that was input. So we are on russellahayworth@gmail.com. And here's our reset password link right here. And it is embedded with that same token that we can see. It starts with 5277. Also begins with 5277. As a registered user, I want to click a link that was emailed to me so that I can enter a new password and reset my password. The reset email contains a clickable link, which it is clickable. The link redirects to the change password page, which we are on right now after clicking it. The new password page contains new password form, which it does right here. The new password form contains 2 password fields, the new password and confirm password fields. Both password fields must match. Both password fields must be at least 6 characters. So if we just try and type in, I'll make those visible. If we try and make them 4, nope, they must be at least 6 characters. So we can make it password and password, and they still must match though. So we'll make it password and then we'll make it 1, 2, 3. Just to be safe. Red error messages will appear if password fields don't match criteria, which we saw. A modal pops up indicating that the password was reset successfully if a 200 response is sent back. So if we press submit, and we receive a modal that says the password reset was a success. And then if we go look in our console, we can see that a 200 status was sent back indicating success. A modal, pressing the login button on the success model redirects to the login page. Okay. The submit button updates the user's password in the database, and the user can log in with the new password. So the password will be encrypted on the in the database, so we won't be able to view it there, but we can go ahead and log in with it. Password 123, and if we press login, we are successfully logged in. You can see as there's now a log out button that would only be visible if we were successfully logged in. Also, a modal pops up indicating if there was an error and the password was not reset. So if we log out, if we go back to our change password link again, and then we stop our backend from connecting, we can attempt this procedure again. And we'll just make it password. And then if we press submit, and it takes significantly longer than it did for success, and then it does indicate that the password reset was failed for some reason. And we can also check the console just to verify, and there was an error, network error. All right, thank you very much.
Hello, this is Mohammed Rahman, and these are my user stories for sprint number 3. As a user, I want to indicate the number of people traveling so that the pricing can be adjusted accordingly. So we are logged in right now. We will put in the airport. The acceptance criteria is user sees the option to add travelers, as you can see here that you can add travelers. Let's select the airports. When the number of adults, children, and senior citizen is provided, the number of travelers is adjusted. As you can see here, we have 1 adult, 2 children, and 1 senior citizen. So you can see that the number of travelers has been changed to 4. Let's select the flight as economy. User sees the adjusted price on the flight result card. You can see here the price. User sees the number of travelers on the flight card result. The number of travelers is 4. Registered user saves the flight and the number of travelers is added in the database. So as you can see here, the registered user will see the option to save the flight. When you hit save, the flight is added to the database. So we'll go here, you can see right now we have nothing. Here's the same flight, Alaskan Airlines, and the number of travelers has been added. It's 4. Here's my next user story. As a registered user, I want to save events so that I can view them later. The acceptance criteria is, when the user is logged in, the user will see the follow button on events page. As we are logged in, you can see that we see the follow button on the event card. When the user hits the save button, event card is stored in the database for the specific user. So when we hit follow, a message will pop up saying that you have followed successfully. If you go here, right now we have nothing in the account event database. Now you can see that the account ID and the event ID has been saved. And that's it.
Hello, my name is Vincent Nguyen, and this is my contribution to Sprint 3 for the Project Trippy. As a registered user, I want to be able to post so I can share my opinions. For the acceptance criteria, the post button is not usable until both the title and post text boxes are filled out. So if I scroll down to the posting section, the post is grayed out. And if I type in title, I click on it, nothing happens. As well as if I go to the database and then I select the first rows, there is nothing in here. And if I type in my new post, the post button is no longer grayed out. And if I click on it, there is a new post. So it only works whenever these 2 text boxes are filled out. When the user posts, a new row will appear within the table. So after I posted, I can execute this query again, and here a new row has appeared. When the user posts, the information is stored into the table within the database, and as you can see, it is all filled out except for the forum users. The forum title, the forum post date, and then the forum post within the database should match the posts the user has made. So for the forum post is my new post. Forum post date is October 24th, 2020. And then the forum title is my new title. If you go back to the web application, here it is, my new title, October 24th, 2020, and my new post. As a registered user, I want to be able to reply to a post. For the acceptance criteria, when I click the reply button on an existing forum, a new comment will be posted below the current comment. So if I can choose this one over here, my new comment, click reply, and there is the new comment. When a new comment is created, the comment should be the same as the inputted text in the reply text area. So the comment here is my new comment. Scroll down. This is my new comment, and if I go back to the reply text area, over here, my new comment. Each comment is separated by lines. So each over here we have lines here to separate each comment to make sure that they're not the same. Each comment should contain the date and the comment. If we go down to the new one over here, 10/24/2020, and then my new comment.
Hello, this is Papa Joe, and these are my Sprint 3 presentation. As a user, I want to see the list of hotels available to me for my travel so I can make a decision on where to stay. The acceptance criteria for this child user story is: user can see a search hotel button when they initialize a search trip after populating the departure and destination field. So once I'm in my page here, I can go here and write a departure location, which will be let's say Chicago and Orlando as a destination. And then after I click the search airport, I should be able to see a find hotel button. User can click on the search hotel button after populating both inbound and outbound date field. So here I have an inbound date field, which I'm going to say maybe tomorrow, and the return date is going to be on the 31st. And once I populate those fields, I should be able to click on the find hotel button. And clicking on the search hotel button after all fields are populated correctly return a list of 10 hotels to choose from. So we have a list here of 10 hotels from the various search we have to make. And the hotel card contains valuable information like name, address, price per night, and star rating. So here in each cards we have the hotel name, Red Carpet Inn, the rating is 2.5 star, the address of course, and the price per night. And so in each cards and each address it has those valuable information. Thank you very much.
Sprint 3 was mainly focused on wrapping up all the functionality for our application so that we can clean up and refactor what we need for the finished product for next sprint. Thank you.